everyone, today I will review the next page of this book. This book is about the world of science. Okay, I'll show you about this topic about this book. As you can see this picture that this is called the Yangles and also called the Yangle mammals. They live at all levels of the forest, from the tallest tree to the forest floor. The bats, they fly over the tree tops, and monkey and apes swing from the branches to branch. Lower down, smaller creatures like cricket and poultice hide among the dense of greenery. And you see, this is the Pygmy chimpanzees. This is an antelope. This is gorilla, jaguar, telephone, giant armadillo, mouse day bat. You can see the jaguar is one of the fiercest hunters in the jungle. It lives in the South America rainforest and is the largest cat in South America. The pig like peccary and capybara and a large jungle rodent are among its favorite prey. And about the howler monkey, they're also called telephone. They has the loudest voice in the jungle, and each trip of the howler monkeys has its own special area, also called territory. We'll see next we have this is the two-toed sloth. The sloth hardly ever comes down the ground, and the jungle creature lives hanging from a branch in special hooks like claws. It is so well adapted to this life that its fur grows downwards the opposite side. This jungle creature lives hanging from a branch by a special hook like claw. It is so well adapted to this life that its fur grows that of most mammals that bring water to themselves more easily. So, and we also have some monkey. The monkey there, such as the South America. The woolly monkey have a long tail that they use as an extra limb when climbing. Okay, the next about the toe user. Let's see the chimpanzee. They are one of the few mammals to use tools to find food. And chips pokes a sharp stick into a turbulent most. The chips have also discovered that fleas make a useful water to drink of whipping their bodies. And you can see that this was sea otter. They're using stone to break open the shellfish food. We have the city creature. You know that I was very love this paint because this is one of the most special paint. That's my favorite paint. I would like to read this because the first one it has been so amazing that we have interesting story in this. We are keep learning about characters and others, and this looked like a Disney movie too, so I was very like the city. Always very cool. Now let's look at the main ideas. Main is the foxes. The fox among few large mammals which which made to survive in town city, and like the once fox found all their foods in the countryside, and nowadays more lot. The number of foxes is very large. They discovered that city rubbish bins are a good hunting ground. The red fox will eat almost anything. It kills birds, rabbits, rabbits, let me guess, rabbits, and almost anything. It's kill also berry. It's also eat insects, fruit, and berries, and take human sleeping. Raccoon also live in the city areas and raid rubbish bins for food. Like foxes, they eat lots of different kind of food, including fish, nuts, seeds, berry, insect, as well as what they're starving from hunting. You see, the rats, and mice, they're among the most successful of the mammal. They live all over the world and they eat almost any kind of food. See the freshwater mammals. Most of the river mammals spend only part of their time in water. Creatures such as the river otter and the water rat live on land and go onto the waters. This hippo is not a good swimmer, but it can walk on the riverbed. It can stay underwater for up to a half an hour. This is the water rat. There have the rat pushed its way through water, and other species feather for life spent partly in water, concludes streamlined body and small ears. Now you see the play pugs. Their use is duck like a pig to find food in the riverbed, and the river otter ear closed soft when it's swimming. Plant eater. You see that about the plant eaters, they must spend most of their time eating in order to get enough nourishment. And a zebra here, they spend at least half its day munching grass. The advantage of being a plant eater, though, is that the animal does not have to chase and compete for its food like hunters do. Some kinds of bats feast on the pollen and nectars. The Queensland blossom bat, for example, how it has a long brush-like tongue with a plunge dipped into flower. To flower, it takes the male pollen to the female parts of the flower so that it can bear seeds and fruits. This is a rabbit, okay? Rabbits, they have strong teeth for eating leaves and banks. They are eating leaves and banks. They are like the large front teeth are called incision, and they are used to biting leaves and chopping wings. Okay. And about the manatee, is water living mammals which feed on plants. There are three different kinds of these large gentle creatures to live in fresh water in West Africa and also in the South American forest. Just so there are the manatees. The digging dip. They're talking about How did the mammals, they're digging. Yeah. And it's about companion part of the mammal worlds are paradox. And they're not, they're not dogs. They're short-tailed squirrel live in North America. They can contain several temper linked by tunnel. Mother and baby. Most whales are burn-tailed birds here. And a baby panda here, their weighs about 100 grams at birth. That's about as big as a white mouse. He's tiny compared to his mother, whom he cub is blind and helpless. About the blue whale here. Blue whale has a bigger baby than other mammal. At birth, the baby is about 7 meters long and weighs than 30 average people. It drinks as much as 500 liters of milk a day. I'm told that here. Somebody's have it to be up and running less than an hour after birth. Let's talk about this topic, science. Science is the most amazing topic that you should learning and discovering, and maybe it can help you a lot. Now you can see that this machine, big, the big, and the small. But the machine, what do you think? They're in anywhere. They are happy to do things and make things, doing them easier. Every time you play on a seesaw, you can now using a machine. A lever is a stiff bar that tilts at the point, or called the pivot, or in the middle. This is the thread, and also this is the car wheel or turned by axle. Amazing, right? Or maybe about the krill. There are another simple but useful scientific machine. About the gears change the turning direction of the force, and slow it down, speed it up, and even convert into a sliding force. So, science is hot. The science is hot. You see, fire, flames, burning heat. Hi. The science of heat is important in all kinds of ways. Not only do we cook with heat, but we also warm our home. And the heat moves by conduction. The burning also causes combustion as the chemical progresses. And the temperature is the amount of the heat that substance. Heat then moves by convection, especially through liquids and gases. Engine powered. You should think. Imagine to me that you having to talk, to walk or run everywhere instead of riding a car. An engine or machine that use fuels to do work for us and make life easier. Fuel is a substance that has chemical energy stored inside it. The energy is released as heat by burning or exploding the fuel in the engine. A jet engine mixes air and kerosene and sets fire to it in one long continuous rolling explosion. An electric motor passes electricity through coils of wire. Science on the move. Without science, we would have to walk everywhere or ride a horse. And luckily, scientists and engineers have developed many methods of transport. Most importantly, the car. And lots of people can travel together in bus, train, and plane or trip. This use less energy and resources and make less pollution. Yet we are extending walkways that stretch out the telescopic finger right to the plane's doors. Every method of the transport needs to be safe on time. And in the airports, the control tower, air traffic controllers traveling on radar screen to talk to the pilot by radio. Beacons send out radio signal, giving the direction and distance to the airport. Noisy sciences. Listening to the radio and television, or some other activity like playing music, shouting at each other. They depend on the signs of the sound. Acoustic sounds like invisible waves in the air. Scientists measure the loudest of intensity of loud in decibels, dB. Whether a sound is high or low is called its pitch or frequency. Sound waves, they can travel about 330 meters every second. Loudspeaker change electrical signal into sound. Or maybe a sound wave. Moreover, they can spread out from a vibrating object that is moving rapidly to and fro. Likes about everywhere, almost everywhere, and you do to depends on line and sign of light, which is called optics too. Because ordinary light from the sun or from a light bulb is called the white line. Like sound, light bounce off surface with very smooth. Light passes through certain materials like clear glass and plastic. Mirror lenses are important, put up many optical. Like this one usually go straight through glass. The power of laser. Laser light is especially kind of light. And to make a laser beam, energy is fed in short bursts into a substance called the active medium. Laser were invented in 1966. Mystery magnet. See, without magnet would be no electric motor, computer, or loudspeaker. Electric spark, flake, sway, and things happen. The electricity depends on the electrons, the product atom. They flow easily through some substance, cool water, and metals. A battery makes electricity from chemical. They're from power station is carried long cables or high pylons or buried underground. Main electricity is made of power station, making sounds and pictures. The air is full of waves we cannot see or hear unless we have bright machine. This is called the radio waves. They carry their information by being altered or modulated in a certain pattern. The number of waves per second is called the frequency. Radio TV program may be sent as a radio waves from a tall tower in the ground. Computer science is also called the computer science too. Computer are amazing machine too, because most computers are controlled by instructions from a keyboard or a mouse. Left around the world, the world is at your fingertips, and you are on the internet. What's made of? Oh, this made of, like, you see. Choosing the right substance or material for job is a part of material science too. Worlds of the chemical. World is made of chemical substance, and in a refinery, crude oil is heated in a huge tower, and some of the different substances turn into fumes and rise up the tower. The foams turn back into liquid at different heat inside the tower too, and due to the different temperature at each level. One group chemical is called acid. Another group chemical is called bases, or maybe acid, because acid and base are opposite type of chemicals. Per science, the world seems to be made of millions of different substances such as soil, wood, concrete, plastic, and air. How did a small science? See, there are many pages in this book that mention atoms. But you know, they're the smallest bit of substance. They're also see. Now, but science ought to carry out the experiment to find out what inside an atom. This is the electron. This is movement of electrons. This is nucleus. The bits inside an atom give each substance its feather from exploding hydrogen to life-giving oxygen. Science at work. As you can see that there are thousands of different jobs and careers in science too. First comes an idea called theory or hypothesis. Two, the scientists carry out an experiment or test to check what happened. The experiment is controlled so that it will reveal useful results. Science in nature. Science and its effects are found all over the natural world. One of the most complicated types of science is ecology. Ecologists use many forms of high-tech science in their study. Oh my gosh, I love this picture. You see, this is the water scorpion. This is the banded demonzo gemfly, one of the most important jobs in science. To study damage and pollution in the natural world. Almost everything we make to do affects the wild place with the animal and plants. Body science. Now you'll see this and affect me. One of the biggest areas of science is medicine. Medical scientists who will produce better drugs, more sweet part of the body, and more machine for use by doctor. As part of the doctor from the body work, such as muscle or nerves, they produce tiny parts of electricity. Laser beam are ideal for delicate operation or surgery on bodies such as the eye. Science in the future. Many modern machines are processing and causing damage to our environment and our health, right? Damage include the acid rain, destruction of ozone layer, and the greenhouse effect leading to climate change and global warming, right? One of the very important area in science is recycling too. We use vast amount of energy, especially to make electricity as fuel in a car. Humans body weight, oh my god, outside and inside. There are more than 6 billion human bodies in the world. If you could say hello to some strange other people, even quickly, it would take you more than 300 years. In some way, all of these human bodies are very similar, especially on the inside. Each one has a heart and brain, bones and guts, arm and leg and skin, but each human is also individual, especially on the outside. You have your own appearance, size and shape, facial feather, hairstyle and clothes. You also have your own personality with like and dislike, and special things that make you happy or sad. Style human bodies may be very similar in how they look, but not in what they do. You're unique, your own self. Baby body, the last page I will review. Oh my gosh, I imagine that how I was born and about what is that is make that me special. You'll see that a full-grown human's body is made of billions of microscopic parts, all called cells. But in the beginning, the body is single cell and they're smaller than this full top, yet it contains all the instruction, no genes for the whole body to grow and develop. Now I show you about it. This is when the mothers know they're pregnant. That means they have baby. They have a successful sperm. It's called egg shells, and this is the wall of uterus, the fluid around baby, and the bones. This is the 2 month. This is the first month. To the 3 month. When the 3 month comes, the bones of the skeleton start to form, and face had taken shape. When the 5 month, hairs begin to grow on the head, and baby begins to move and kick. This is 5 months. And when 7th month comes, they have placenta after birth, umbilical cord. And 9th month, water of warmth is shed. It is the placenta, and the baby is born head first. Cervix, wreck of warmth. Inside the womb, the baby cannot breathe air or eat food. Nutrient oxygen pass from the mother to baby through the blood vessel in rope-like umbilical cord. Because you see, if you're being born, it can take an hour or two whole day or two. It is very tiring for birth of their baby and its mother. And after birth, the baby stares to feel hungry and is feed on his mother milk. And finally, the mother and baby settle down for a rest and some sleeps. And you see, the 5 month, like I told you, the bodies when after 9 months in the womb, the baby is ready to be born. The strong muscle in the walls of the womb tighten or contract and push the body through the opening or neck of the womb, or called cervix, along the birth canal, and the baby enters the outside world. The bodies begin when eggshell inside the mother, joins up with sperm from the fathers. Okay, these are what I'm going to read with you. Thank you for listening.